Hi, Glenn McGrew here, and I thought I'd do this video a little bit differently than the previous two about Harry's products. So I've got my Harry's Shave Gel, and I've got the shaver, of course, and I've got the post-shave balm here to try today. And I didn't show it to you in the previous two videos how long my hair was on my face, but it's a lot longer than it was when I shaved it because I took my clippers to it last time and the previous time before that, and shaved it down as close as I could get with my electric shavers. Now this is a bit longer than that. So I decided that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these products. I'm going to shave and see how they compare when you've got a little more bristle, longer bristle, than if you've got really short one because you're doing it fairly often. So let's give it a shot here. The first step, you're supposed to get your face wet with warm water. So I'm going to turn on that. It's nice and warm. Okay, so now I got some nice warm water on my face. Grab the shaving gel and let you see it. Doesn't take a lot really. I think that's probably going to be enough, believe it or not. That's like a tiny amount, but it really spreads out pretty well. I'm going to do one more video after this using these products, and in that last video what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave it with the grain, so to speak, or with the direction of the hairs instead of against it. Now I found that if you put the gel on too thickly, it tends to interfere with the shaving, so it's better to use less. Less is more, as they say. Okay, so let's give it a go and see how it compares to last time in terms of both the quality of the shave and how easy it is to remove stuff from it. In other words, from the head. Still a little bit difficult to remove the shield from the head, but oh well, nothing's perfect, right? Okay, so I'll just start right here. And, let's see how that worked. Seems to have done pretty well. Seems to be clean, which with other brands I've tried, when my beard is this long or longer, it tends to get stuck. This is my third use, so I'm also kind of curious to see how well it cuts. And I think it's not cutting as well as the first two times. Yep, it seems to still be cleaning fairly well, so maybe I should have waited longer to cut the bristle. Now I can't show you, but I do wash on both sides with the water. Some people will take a bowl or a glass of warm water and they'll just kind of swish it around inside of that, but I prefer to do it this way. Because the longer you're using it, the more shaving cream and bristles are in there, and the more difficult it becomes to clean off the head. Now you may be asking, Glenn, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a straight edge, or you maybe prefer an electric razor, or what you prefer? And I'll be honest with you, when you start using a straight edge or an electric razor, they're both going to give you some pimples. And this is just because it's pulling the hair out a bit as it's and then cutting, and that results in some hairs getting so deep that the skin kind of closes over them. But usually after a while of using whatever tool you like, that doesn't happen as much. Although there are some people who will have worse problems where they'll get like eczema or something like that because of irritation. Sometimes in this area here, there'll be some irritated skin that will need some extra help to heal. So I think it's going pretty well this time. It seems like I'm not cutting myself as much, but we'll have to wait and see how it looks when it's done. Because sometimes that's when I see the nicks. I don't notice them necessarily right away. Yeah, the slightly longer bristle doesn't seem to have an effect on how easy it is to rinse off the blades. I am having a little bit of problems in this area, and I generally do because it seems like the bristle around my mouth here is usually longer. Oh, there's a missed something there. Got some pimples from the last shave. The shave before that I had pimples as well. Again, this is just skin irritation because I normally use an electric razor. And so getting back to the question of what do I prefer the rotary shavers with 3 heads. I found that the foil ones that I've used anyways, I've used a few different brands, but I found that the foil ones, even when they have like a double bump, they seem to be less effective at getting shaving done. But you know, you can still shave with them. It's just, for me personally, I found they weren't as effective. Sorry that the picture looks kind of washed out. I've got a light on overhead and it's pretty bright. So yeah, I think I'm done. I'm just gonna kind of do a, oh, there's something there. I'm gonna do a check here just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I don't have my reading glasses on, so I can't really see that well. And sometimes even if I do have my glasses on, there are things I won't notice because of the lighting. Okay. Sometimes this is where I nick myself when I'm doing the final check. Yeah, so it's definitely better than a disposable razor. And I would say that it's somewhat better than like the higher end ones from like Gillette and those other companies where they give you a nice, well, handle with a good heft to it, and then you have the disposable heads that you have to replace. So you, like this one. And just looking with the light, I'm not really seeing any blockage from hair, which is a good sign, because like when I used the Gillette, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name, it would get blocked up. So now the last step is to remove all the shaving gel and put on the shaving balm. Ooh, that stings a bit. Oh, you like my head? Okay, there we go. I don't know, do you see any bleeding this time around? Not sure that I see any bleeding. Let me just grab my glasses. You sit tight. Don't need to pause. Just sit tight. So let's just take a look here. Oh, that's a bump. That's an old mole. Can't really see very well down here, but it doesn't look like there's any cutting. The cuttings that cut areas. Got some pimples over here from the last time that just don't want to go away quite yet. So I think this third time around using it, it's better. Did a better job, although I'm kind of seeing what looks like could be some excess hair here. Let's see. Yeah, there's still some leftover hair down here, which, you know, it's right around my Adam's apple, so I'm not terribly surprised. I'm not going to bother removing it just because it's been so long now. It did, like I said, it seemed like the blades this time were not quite as sharp, and that's probably probably part of the reason why I didn't get bit by the heads this time, or the blades this time. Now, I didn't mention it, but there is that little bar, the white bar running across that. That's supposed to kind of soothe your skin. So let's get the post-shave balm and see how it feels. I put it on the fingertips. You can see it's a white color. Yeah. Now let's just rub it in. Isn't there a commercial that says rub it in, rub it in? Oh, sorry, I'm not advertising. If you want me to advertise you want me to advertise for you, you're gonna have to pay me. This is not advertising. This is just letting people know what I think of Harry's products. There you go, and it does sting. Seems like it's taking a bit longer this time around to stop stinging, but it doesn't sting badly for very long at all. Like I said, when I used the Colgate Lanolin in the first video, I reported that the sting lasted for several seconds. This time was also a little bit longer this time, but not too bad. So there you go. You've actually seen me how I'm doing the shave against the grain, or mostly against the grain. Whenever it's kind of hard if you haven't memorized your face. You may go with the grain by accident, but it looks pretty good and it does smell good. So yeah, so it seems to be decent enough. I'm still going to stick with shaving with electric though. It's just not great enough for me to pollute the earth more with this stuff as opposed to using an electric shaver. But if you like the straight edge razors, I think that this might be a good choice for you. And again, better to use these two together than to mix this stuff with something from another company. It seems to reduce the burn when you use the same product together. So that's it. If you have any questions, please put them below in the comments. Thank you very much. And there'll be one more video where I will do a last shave with using the razor with the grain. So I'll be going this direction instead of this direction, for example. Thanks. Bye.